Yeah, I'm trying to get my crop that way, that up that way, like that. That looks better. Yeah, um, the news that I have is that the House Oversight Committee found that 80 to 85% of Biden's signatures over his 4 years were were either auto pen or forged. They said that when he signs his signature, it's always capital J, capital R, Biden Jr. And 80% of the, right, yeah, he has 8,800 pardons. Hey, Zach, he has 8,800 pardons that he gave before he left office. 8,800. And if that's not his real search, signature, that means all of them pardons are invalid. Every one of them is invalid. Oh, what's this thing doing here? Hold on. I'm trying to make this. Oh, let's do this. That. That's a little bit better. At least you can see the ticker on the bottom. I got to figure out how to change the size of this one, but I can do that later. I just want to be able to see everything on the screen. You know what I mean? Yeah, because this creates a constitutional crisis. Because if 80% of his signatures over the last 4 years are invalid or auto pen or forgeries, um, yeah, AOC's in a boatload of trouble. She just is not smart enough to realize it yet. Is that better? Trying to, whoa, don't want to dump the iPad on the ground. Yeah. The other one that's a joke is Jasmine Crockett. Somebody said on X the other day that instead of Smith comes to Washington, Crockett is ghetto comes to Washington. Like Crockett said on TV the other day that it was a civil penalty to cross the border illegally, so therefore it's not a crime and so it's not illegal. It's a felony. It's a felony to cross the border illegally. It's described in U.S. Title Code, I think it's 18. I forget the section number, but Tom Holman can cite it chapter and verse to her if she needs help. Right. Now, something that Lindy Lee brought up is that he was known to be incompetent his first year of office, and that Jill and a couple of his top aides ran the country for the 4 years. Yeah, she should be censured and her ass thrown out of Congress. Somebody at the DNC said, "Oh, let's run Jasmine Crockett against Donald Trump or against JD Vance." Yeah, and then she tries to justify it by saying that it's a civil matter, so it's not illegal. It's like, you're about stupid. Yeah, she should be censured and thrown out of Congress. But I don't see Hakeem doing anything. Hakeem said in a call to Democratic members of Congress the other day that they had the Republicans on the run. Just keep the foot on the gas. So if Hakeem thinks that they have the Republicans on the run, just keep that message up, and you'll get trounced, right? How can a public company make an ethics complaint against a congressperson? She never went to law school. She was a bartender. Yeah, she was a bartender and decided to run for Congress. And when she got elected, she had to borrow money to pay her first month's rent in DC. And now she's worth millions of dollars. She maybe did later, but when she ran for office, She ran as a bartender, as quote, uh, how did she word it? A person of the people or some crazy stupid thing like that. Yeah, something cool that Trump did. Trump took over the Kennedy Center. Guess who he put on the board? He put Maria Bartiromo and Laura Ingraham on the board at the Kennedy Center Honors. That'll shake things up. No, he didn't put himself on. He took over the situation because it was bleeding money, and so he's, I guess, because of the way the setup of it is worded. Yeah, BA, bad attitude. She has a BA, was working as a bartender, and couldn't afford her first month's rent in DC. Had to borrow the money. Yeah. You know something else? If you look at her when, and I'm not being sexist at all, if you look at her when she first got elected, she's flat chested, and now she got a rack on her that won't quit. Where did that money come from, right? No, that one I did not see. That would be funny. I thought it was funny. Suddenly she's got a pair, right? Her brother entered her. AOC, look at pictures from when she first got elected and look at pictures of her now. Holy smokes. Yeah, gaining weight upstairs, lol. I shouldn't be like that, but she's a ready target, you know what I mean? Yeah, she's losing voters big time. And I watch, you ever watch the YouTube channel Election Time? She doesn't look like she gained weight in the stomach, only upstairs, if you catch my drift. I'm trying to be careful about how I talk about this. Yeah, that's funny, Julianne. I am a Christian. I believe in God. And people say, "Well, why do you cuss and swear?" I said, "God knows why I cuss and swear. I talk to Him every day." Right? They need to be ridiculed, but because of YouTube, I have to be careful how I mention stuff. I have to be very careful. Don't want to give YouTube a reason to strike my channel. And this new policy that YouTube has with regard to political channels, if you get 3 strikes, they take your channel and all your content. Right. They are ridiculous. Yeah. Marjorie Taylor Greene told, I think it was AOC. No, it was Jasmine Crockett. She'd take her outside and show her what a real fight was all about. They don't re- they review chats, they review content. Like if you put uh, in a chat, if you put a curse word, the F word, or something like that in the in the in the chat, YouTube will immediately erase it, and then I get a letter about get a warning for community guidelines. YouTube reviews everything. Yep, their butt hurt all right. You know, they hire someone like David Hogue to be basically vice president of the DNC, vice chair. This is a person who wants to make all guns illegal to own. He said that we don't have Second Amendment rights, that the Second Amendment was meant for, quote, militia, which it would be equivalent to today's National Guard. That's how crazy insane he is. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He's crazy, completely crazy. Yeah, Lindy Lee is is a blessing for the Republican Party. Somebody in the Republican Party should have a serious talk with her and offer her protection. Right. And I watched the Ruthless podcast this morning. They said the Republicans are onto something when seven of the senior members at Act Blue resign effective immediately. And he said it's like the rats jumping off the sinking ship. She has joined up with Nicole Shanahan, and she said, my donors go where I go. She said, what the Democratic Party has failed to understand is that my donors are not party loyal. They're loyal to me. So wherever I go, they go with me. I thought that was real interesting that her donors are not party loyal. They're loyal to her. So wherever she goes, they go with her. And her donors are billionaires. Well, see, when you take their security clearance, they can no longer look at top secret info, so they can't on it on the radio or TV because doing so is a felony. Right. See, I look at the Pam Bondi thing a little bit different. Okay. When she was coming into office, she asked New York, Miami, whoever had Epstein files to give her all the files. New York lied to her. That was their first mistake. They told her there were no more files, that she had all of the files. Then she found out through a whistleblower that they had hundreds of thousands of pages of files, but they said, we're not giving it to her. So the guy over, I can't think of his name right off, over New York Southern District FBI office, he got fired. Well, he got told, either resign or we're firing you on the spot. Oh, it gets much deeper than that, Julianne. So everybody says that Ghislaine worked for Jeffrey. I think it's the other way around because Ghislaine's dad was Mossad. And I think that how it went down was Ghislaine's dad knew about Pedo Island and told Ghislaine, get him to feed you information from these politicians. And then when he said, I don't have to worry about what I say because I'm protected, then the Mossad set up him getting unalived. That's the way it looks because the coroner's report does not say that his neck was snapped by hanging. The report says every vertebrae in his neck was crushed. That doesn't happen from a hanging. That does not happen from a hanging. And another thing, the bunk was 5 foot tall and Epstein was 6'4". So you're telling me that he jumped off the top of the bunk without hitting his legs on the ground, without spilling over all of his medications? Uh, Jesse Waters has a whistleblower that said they worked for the medical examiner's office and arrived to pick up the body. And when they got there were 7 people in the cell moving his body around, moving things around, touching him. I don't know about there being other pedo islands. I just know about Jeffries. But I know that it recently coming out that Jeffrey had other clubs like the pedo island in other countries. Like there's one in Turkey and several other countries. Yeah, I agree. There has to be other places like that for the rich, right? In most of the Europe countries, age of consent is 14. In Italy, a girl can be a legal hooker at 16. Right. But see, I view this with a little bit different perspective. See, in Europe, They are sexualized at a much younger age. In Europe, full frontal nudity in commercials is legal. Where at in Italy? I have a friend that lives in northern Italy. I would need to let her know. Oh, Mount Etna. There's Mount Etna. Um, there used to be Vesuvius, but Vesuvius imploded on itself years ago. Um, oh goodness, let's um, really- I'm going to our friend Google. Okay, here we go. It sent us to Wikipedia. Selective, active, and extinct. Holy cow! There's a whole ton of them. One, but it asked for active, and it gave me active and extinct. Oh, Mount Etna is in Sicily. Um, Active and quasi quiescent eruptive centers inly grouped into the main magmatic provinces. This map can serve blah 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 blah. A wow. Aeolian. Oli, is that alien? Sardinia had a total history. Etna and Vesuvius. I thought Vesuvius had imploded on itself, but it says it's listed as an active volcano. Oh, really? An update to the DC crash? No, this is not telling me nothing. Volcanoes. Stromboli, Etna was last erupted in 2013. Years. Mount Etna in Sicily, August of 2024. Mount Etna last erupted in August of last year. There's Stromboli, there's Vesuvius near Naples, last erupted in 1944, the only volcano to have recently erupted in continental Europe. Vulcano, Volcano, another of the whatever islands, last erupted in 1888. Then it goes through a list of, well, Vesuvius can't be active and dormant. People are on drugs. So they don't know what they're talking about. You can't have a volcano listed as active and then also list the same volcano as dormant. Doesn't work that way. I have to write back customer support this afternoon and tell them that my link to Twitter still does not work because I have followers on Twitter and they said just click the destination button and click Twitter. Well, when I do that, it goes through this whole, well, X. On here, it's listed as Twitter. That could be why the link doesn't work, maybe. Yeah, I go on X every day, add followers, make comments. Okay. I have to figure out how to do that through EVMux. I use X all the time. I send you messages on X, Julianne. I did not know you never use it. Yeah, I get a lot of interesting info off of X, but then I can't, it won't let me download the links. So I have to go and get the links from elsewhere. You don't post on there? How many, do you know how many followers you have on there? Or should say how many people you follow? Okay, I did not know that. I know that I can I can live stream to Facebook. I just have to figure out how to set it up. Oh, okay. So you have a leftover account from Twitter, but you can't log into it. Yeah, all that technical stuff is way over my head, like a jet. I'll have to check that out. I know I'm supposed to be able to do live streams on Facebook. I'll have to check that out. Whoa, this stupid thing jumping out of my ear. Wow. I did not know you didn't have a cell phone, Julianne. Trying to get this where y'all can see me and where I can read the comments. So how do you like how I set up the banner at the bottom of the screen? with the date and the time. That's that's my time, Mountain Time. What about if you get a selfie stick? Blue News, the one on the very bottom, right? I'm trying to figure out how to adjust the size of that one. Because the one above it, the scroll, well, the scroll above it is about the right size, right? What about if you use a backpack, Julianne? A lot of women are going to using a backpack instead of a purse. I used to use a grabber all the time, but now I have aides that come in and help me out. And if I drop something on the floor, they come and pick it up for me. Yeah, but my dog needs to be trained to not chomp down on stuff and put holes in it. Let me show you what he did to my credit card. Where is it? See my credit card? Where- Right there, and then down there. He was trying to pick it up and bring it to me, and my aide caught him, and he ran under the bed with it. Yeah, my canine hole puncher. I called my credit union, told them what happened. They said, "You're not the first person that, their dog ate their credit card. We'll send you another one." So that's supposed to be here, uh, I think tomorrow, the 12th or the 13th. Yeah, but I'm allergic to cats. I'm deathly allergic to cats. When I lived in Illinois, I had a cat and I ended up in the hospital with hypoxemia. The doctor said either get rid of the cat or you're going to be 6 foot under. Yeah, some are hyperallergenic, but when you know you're that allergic that you end up in the hospital and can't breathe, then it's not worth it. At least it's not worth it to me to, have a pet cat and not be able to breathe. Where I can have dogs all I want and no problem. The one I got though, he's a good boy, but it's going to start being shedding season pretty soon. Yep, and that's always something. My aides sweep the floor every time they come during shedding season. Yep, every time they come over, they sweep the floor, they mop the floor. I got a good set of aides. Yeah, he likes to be brushed. When I first got him, you could not brush him. You picked up the brush and he would run and hide under the bed. It's like I told one of my aides that when I got him, he was 3 months old and he did not know how to climb stairs. I had to teach him how to climb stairs at 3 months old. And she said, "That's a problem." But I just am so attached to this dog and he's so affectionate. But he's only affectionate with me. He's a one person dog. All right. We've been on here almost an hour. Shows 55 minutes. We've had a good conversation. I'm going to get off of here. Love you guys. Bye for now. Same time tomorrow.